Piva here. I hope you are all having a wonderful long holiday weekend. It is Labor Day today, and so I wanted to reach out as we stroll into week 3 of class and just touch bases with you, see how y'all are doing. I've been in contact with quite a few of you. I've really enjoyed getting to know a lot of you on office hours and via Zoom. And so that's been absolutely wonderful. I hope to hear from more of you this week. I do have office hours on Tuesday from 12 to 2 and on Wednesday from 9 to 11. So please stop by and say hello. Follow the link on the course webpage and then stop by, just say hello to me. I love it. I love to hear your stories and to see what y'all are doing. Okay, so really quickly, it's not going to be really quick. Nothing I do is really quick. And that's just it's what it comes down to. Nothing I do is really quick. And so, but I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing this week, because we are really jumping into the idea of peer review this week and critique and feedback. And so you're reading chapter 3 of the textbook, learning a little bit more about research. But a big part of research is writing. And so this class is a writing intensive class. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the peer review process. Now, y'all are going to jump into the week 3 folder, which I've made available for you, and you're going to be like, what are we doing this week? This looks like a weird week. And so I wanted to walk you through just a tiny little bit of what this week looks like and see what we're going to be doing this week. So like I said, this week is all about starting the peer review process. I want you to think about why we do peer review, why you might be afraid of peer review and critique, and how to change your perspective so that peer review becomes a learning and growing process for you. So this week, to do that, I have put up some videos that I would love for you to watch and just to see what's going on out there. The first one is probably one of my favorite videos, and she's a great speaker. This woman who talks about radical candor. Radical candor is the concept that you are giving feedback in a loving and caring and constructive manner. And so it's about a 20-minute long talk, and it's very, very cool. I think it's very cool. And so hopefully you all will agree that this is a pretty cool talk. Whether you are in business, whether you are headed into the workplace, whether you're going to be a manager one day, or whether you're looking at peer review, this video actually really shaped my perception of what it means to do peer review, or what it means to get feedback from a mentor. And that is that, you come from this perspective that the person giving the feedback is doing you a favor, is, really cares about you and wants you to succeed. And so they give you the best possible, honest but caring feedback that they possibly can. And so I want you to jump into the video Radical Candor and watch that. Like I said, 20 minutes. It's a great video, though. Watch it again if you get to, right? If you watch it once and then you're thinking about it later, watch it again. And you'll find that some of the best leaders are those people who practice radical candor. And then the second video I want you to watch is a peer critique, and it's creating a culture of revision. And this is a really interesting one because it takes actually the next two are really about how we start this culture of feedback in elementary school, and how that develops over time, so that not only are we good reviewers, but that makes us better because we start to look at what other people might be doing wrong, or not quite what we want to, how we want them to do it. And so, okay, how am I going to learn from this person by peer reviewing them? But also, how am I going to help the other person grow by peer reviewing them? And then the third video I want you to watch is a short video. It's about 5 minutes long. It's called Austin's Butterfly, and it's right here. You'll see Austin's Butterfly, which is building excellence in student work. And again, this is from a very young child age, like kindergarten, first grade. And they go through the peer review process and what that looks like and how you peer review with first graders, which I think is wonderful. And y'all might learn a few things about how to draw a butterfly. I cannot draw anything except for stick figures, but I might try a butterfly after I watch this video again. So I love that video. And then the last one is a TED Talk about how to use others' feedback to learn and grow. This is about, how we perceive feedback, and, instead of something that is criticism, which is often not done in a loving manner. Criticism is not loving. Criticism is just kind of pulling someone down and not building them up, where critique and peer evaluation and feedback is oftentimes done with love and with caring. And so that's the biggest difference, right? So criticism critique instead of criticism. How do I make you better, right? And how do you walk into this peer review process with a positive attitude? So those are the 4 videos I want you to watch this week. So that way you can kind of start thinking about this. Well, you start going to be doing this peer review process. And then the next thing I'm going to have you do is the quiz, right? The reading quiz on chapter 3 of the book. It's going to be right there. We're not going to launch it. And then I want you to do a journal this week. And I want you to, so this doesn't have to have feedback from anyone else. This isn't a discussion. This week, you're going to do a journal about your own experiences and perception of critique, feedback, and criticism. Most of us are pretty scared to get feedback from others because in our culture, we do a lot of criticism, but we don't do a lot of really constructive critique. And so we get scared because of that. And so I want you to be thinking about why you might be feeling a little bit apprehensive walking into this assignment of peer review, and how you can change your perspective to do that. So you're going to do a journal this week talking about your own experiences with criticism, critique, and feedback. The assignment guidelines are online already, so please go ahead and do that. And then finally, you're going to finish the first draft of your peer review. And so I expect you to I don't have a lot of other stuff for you to do this week, right? I have about an hour of video for you to watch, plus this about 10-minute long video. But I have about an hour of video for you to watch this week. But because I really expect you to take your time on each peer review that you do for your classmates and be introspective, be considerate, be thoughtful, and really take your time on how you're going to do these peer reviews. You should be doing 2 for other people, and so you're being graded on what you turn in for this, for your peer reviews. But peer reviews, right? Critiques and peer reviews should not be a review that tells the author how wonderful their paper or writing is. That should not be what it is, right? You can do that a little bit. You can be like, wow, this is really great. Now let's figure out what we can do to improve it, right? Because my philosophy is behind every single writer is an even better editor, is an even better reviewer. Someone who's going to look at your paper and really say, okay, let's talk about this and let's see, what is good and what it could be better. So even my writing, when I write, I have people review it all the time. When I wrote my dissertation several years ago, I had the best reviewers I could possibly ask for because they really wanted me to succeed, and I thought I was fantastic. I'm like, this is wonderful. See this beautiful paper that I wrote? And they're like, yeah, right. And they just took the red pen to it and were like, we love you, and we know you can be better. And so I want you to go into this peer review thinking, okay, right, what can I do to help this person learn to be a better writer? What can I do for that? Because really, this is about how do we be a better writer for this class so that way we can get our point across to the general public better. So we need to be, right, in this with a growth mentality, both as a peer reviewer and as a person getting the critique. This should not be a chance to attack the author for their opinions or writing skill, and this should be an opportunity to help both you and your reviewee grow in your writing ability. So you're going to take your papers that you get from your classmates. You should get two, and you should receive them in Word format or some other format that allows you to track changes. Because what I want to see from you when you turn it into me is the work that you have done, really thoughtfully to make comments, to do editorial, grammar, typos, that type of thing, to make recommendations. And so I want to see that all throughout it. You're going to give that to the person that you're reviewing, and you're going to give a copy of it to me as well. You're going to save your paper right in cloud storage on your computer or a cloud storage space or some portable device, whatever, so that you can save it as your own, right? Save it, and then you can go back and make changes to it. Please name your files with your classmate's last name, your first name, or their first name or first initial, first draft, and then your initials and the date as a file name. And then I want you to get comfortable. Grab a cup of coffee, grab an iced tea, grab whatever you need to, get comfortable, open up your computer, and really contemplate what this paper is. You're going to read it fully through once, at least once, before you start editing at all. You're going to read it through. You're not going to skim it. I want you to read it, actually. It should be less than 3 pages. So read it and kind of figure out, what the heck is this paper saying, right? And then once you have kind of a decent understanding of the paper, I want you to go through and look at some of the things, like does the author have a thesis or a purpose statement? Is it clear? What's a summary of their thesis? And so I've provided you with some guidelines here. There's some definitions and examples of thesis statements that I've given you. Does the author support their thesis statement with multiple and credible sources? Click here again. You can go through the guidelines again, and then kind of work through the paper. Follow these guidelines. Ask yourself these questions as you're going through, and ask, okay, if I want to make the paper really good, if it was my paper, what kind of feedback would I really want? And then when your review is complete, you're going to submit 2 documents back to the reviewee. You're going to submit your answers to all the questions from the peer review rubric, and you're going to give them back a copy of their edited paper with the track changes marks. Okay. And then you're going to come back to the assignment, and you're going to submit that to me. And so I've provided you the peer review rubric, right here. There's the rubric. And then I've also provided that to you. What you're going to turn into me is this assignment. And so you're going to upload a copy of that peer review you're going to upload a copy of their paper, and then you will fill out your peer-reviewed answers in this assignment. So you're going to basically copy and paste them and then click some things. I'm going to begin it for you so you can see what it looks like. So when you open this is the assignment you're going to give back to me, okay? So receive the paper, all of these other things, okay? And then you're going to go through here, and I've got questions for you. So question 1, what is the name of the classmate whose paper you're receiving in this section? So this is this assignment is for both papers, okay? And so you'll answer these questions twice in this assignment. So what is the name of the classmate whose paper you are reviewing in this section, and what is the title of the paper being reviewed? You're just going to type in your answer. The student's name is, and that's the student that you're reviewing, is Groucho Marx, right? And the title of the paper is, oops, I just realized I need to change this. The title of the paper is How to Be a Comedian in 2020 with 2020 Vision. What do you think about that? Right? So that's the title of the paper. And then you're going to go through and you're going to click on grammar and typos. And this is exactly the wording from your rubric. So go through here and do this. So grammar and typos, was it below expectations, needs improvement, meets expectations, exceeds expectations? You go through to question 3 for the content, right? Again, below expectations, needs improvement, right? And then organization. And then you're going to write a brief summary, which you already should have written on your paper that you gave back to your classmate, what this means. So, right, is the author's thesis or purpose statement clear? What is the summary of their thesis? And then go through and answer that. And then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to do this again for your second paper. Okay, exact same questions, but for paper number 2. Okay. So that's what it looks like. And then you're going to hit save and submit. Yes, I know I didn't answer all those things, but it's all good. And then you'll be done with this week. Okay. So that's what this week looks like. Let me think here. So, and I need to go back and I need to change this real quick, but it's all good. You don't have to worry about anything. I just need to change the points available on this test because for some reason I didn't do that. So this is where we're at. Again, we're in week 3, and we are looking at, you're going to be reading about more social research, and then you're going to be really jumping into this peer review process. Remember, this peer review process is something we're going to use when we write our letter to the editor in a couple weeks, and then we're going to use it again as you write an opinion editorial, an op-ed piece later in the semester. And so, and hopefully you'll do more with peer review as we go along. Okay, again, stop by for my office hours. I would love to meet you. It's been so great getting to know you already, and so I'm really excited for as we go forward. I apologize, I'm getting a little bit late on the weekly materials. For all of you who don't know, I have 2 children at home that I'm trying to homeschool. There is a reason I'm a college professor and not an elementary school professor. I have a 9 and a 12-year-old at home that, for all you people out there who are trying to work and juggle school and have your kids homeschooling, we're all in this together, and it's hard. So, but don't worry, we'll get through this together. I hope you're enjoying the material. I hope you're enjoying class. Please stop by on my regular office hours or email me and say, hey, I would love to talk to you, because I would love to talk to you. Have a great week. We'll see you again soon.